Good afternoon and welcome to the Oklahoma City Economic Development Trust meeting of October 25th, 2022. We'll now call the meeting to order. Second item on the agenda is the minutes from the September trust meeting. Do we have any comments or questions? If not, we can take a motion for approval. Do what?
I was saying the August because September we didn't.
Oh. Sure, August, September. We have a first, or a motion and a second. Please cast your votes. And the item passes. Item 3 on the agenda is ratification of claims. We can take those with a motion. We have a motion and a second. Please vote. That item passes as well. Brings us to item 4A on the agenda, which is a resolution rescinding prior approval of the allocation for underground infrastructure for the Strawberry Fields project. Mr. Sudol?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. So items 4A and 4B are related. We had a change, the City Council, when this allocation went to them, just to clarify that we would be in compliance with the agreement we have with the Omni, which provided a no subsidy zone for a period of years for hotels. So this is just clarifying that. Also, we had a small correction on the name of the developer to make sure that was correct as well. So item 4A is rescinding that prior action, and then 4B would be approving the amended allocation with that language about the Omni in.
Thank you. Any questions, comments? If not, we can take a motion on item 4A. We have a motion and a second. Please vote.
Yes.
And the item passes, which brings us to item 4B, which is the amended allocation. We can take a motion on that. We have a motion and a second. Please vote. That item passes as well. Brings us to item 4C, Economic Development Agreement with JRB Citizen LLC for $1,080,000 for the Citizen Project. Mr. Sudol.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, just a reminder, this is a $70 million, 12-story mixed-use office project. This is not to exceed $1,080,000. It's the Economic Development Agreement. The allocation was previously approved by the council and this trust, and it's one of the things where it's receive a portion, up to 80%, not to exceed that dollar amount of their TIF for the remainder of TIF 2. We think that will be about 2 years once this project gets completed.
Any questions? If not, we can take a motion. We have a motion and a second. Please vote. The item passes. Brings us to item 4D, Public Infrastructure Agreement, the amount of $2,010,000 for the public sanitary sewer line improvements on Northwestern Avenue. Mr. Sudol.
Yes, sir. So this was also previously approved an allocation. So this is a little bit different. It's a public infrastructure agreement instead of an economic development agreement because it's with the Water Utilities Trust. Just as a reminder, this was to improve the sewer lines along Western, but that's really to support some of those housing developments that are going in around 4th and Chartel in that area. Just if you recall that presentation, we needed to add some capacity and do it pretty quickly. And so this provides that and also admonishes the Utilities Trust to start as soon as feasibly possible on this project.
Any questions or comments? If not, we can take a motion. With a motion and a second, please vote. That item passes as well. Brings us to item 4E, amendment number 3 for the Myriad Gardens Crystal Bridge renovation in the amount of $68,000. Ms. McSpadden?
Yes, this item is an amendment to our project that we have, the renovation project that we funded with TIF. They're going to do a study on the cooling of the water that they use to air condition the Crystal Bridge. So when they took all of the trees and everything out of the Crystal Bridge for the renovation, they realized they lost the canopy, which created shade, and so they're having to come up with some new options. So this is the study to kind of give us those options of what we'll need to do to kind of move ahead in the future. So
Any questions or comments? Yes.
And then it also allows for the Devon Ice Rink as well?
that's going to be in considered, yeah,
Okay,
for the project.
good.
Part of it, yeah.
Nothing else? We can take a motion? We have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes. And item 4E passes. Brings us to item 4F, the Oklahoma City Economic Development Trust regular meeting schedule for 2023. Ms. McSpadden?
I will just let you know, those are all council days, so they're either on the third, fourth, or fifth council day of the month. Same schedule we've got this year, so.
Thank you.
Okay.
We need to,
Allowing them time for lunch.
Yes.
can we take a motion to receive that, please? With a motion and a second, please vote. And it is received. Brings us to item 5, the general manager's report, Mr. Siddle.
So the report's in your packet and don't have a lot to comment on it. However, Joanna did want to make a few comments about, we are taking a look at our SIP program and just kind of doing a review of compliance on that. So Joanna wanted to give us a little bit of update on what we're have started in that area.
Yeah, so the second to last page is the SIP project status on the report, which you guys have seen. Not unchanged for a little while, so you'll notice that I added asterisks to some of the projects. So those are the projects that I'm looking at and reviewing. So the one that has a single asterisk, I've already sent letters and received some correspondence, so you may begin seeing some termination requests coming through over the next few months to cancel out the balances for some of those contracts, and the ones with the double asterisk, those termination or those notification letters are going to be going out here this week. So we're sort of doing it in 2 batches, but the idea is that it probably by the end of the year, I'll hopefully be able to kind of bring that list down to a manageable, realistic number and free up some funding for new projects also along the way.
Yeah, and I'd say just to add on to that, that we're also making sure we're careful that we continue to be good partners with those companies, and just some of them, it's gone a long time, so we're sort of checking back in with them and working with each other in the chamber, trying to make sure we reach out and make contacts and make sure it's just not a procedural issue or something like that, you know, folks not sharing information, et cetera, so.
Right.
Yep. Thank you.
Just a quick question. On that, what has been the response on that so far? I mean, what has been their feedback so far, if you have gotten any from them on why they haven't?
On the notices,
Yeah.
so they really range from across the board. So some of them have been sending all of their things in each year, and they just haven't yet qualified. And so we've just got a balance there that we need to figure out if they're going to qualify or not, kind of just tie up that loose end. There's some that just haven't sent anything, so the contract has kind of been stale. And so it's really a notification that, hey, we've got this contract, we need to take a look at the records and sort of determine what we're going to be able to put out as incentive, or else move on with the contract and terminate the balance. So it really is kind of across the board. And I think I haven't really looked into what we would bring back to you for canceling those contracts, but I envision that it would have some sort of explanation for some of those to let you know either we've paid out a portion and we have this balance we're going to release, or something to kind of give you just an update on the status of whatever that project is.
Thank you.
Just a comment, thank you for your good stewardship, because it has been implemented for quite some time and we weren't circling the wagons, if you will. So thank you.
Yes.
All right, item 6, comments from staff. Oh my God,
I have one more.
I knew I should
I
have
should just
asked.
stand up here. I think I introduced Sarah to most of you, Councilman Stonecipher. This is Sarah Boggs. She is my new team member. She took Lacey's position. So you'll be getting emails from her. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions. And anyway, I just want to welcome her. I'm very excited to have her.
Welcome. Any other comments from staff? No? You're good? Trustees? If any citizens signed up to be heard? No? All right, with that, we are adjourned.
That wasn't a challenge.
I felt like you were making it a challenge.